Dolphins are 1-0. Hurricanes are 2-0. Short week for the Miami Dolphins. They've got the Bills on Thursday night. So, a couple observations from me. We'll talk to Crowder. Ryan Fitzpatrick, former Dolphins quarterback, is going to join us. Obviously, you got the Dolphins playing on Thursday night. Fitzy's part of that crew on Prime Video. So, he's going to join us today, talk about the Dolphins. We have a lot to get to on this Victory Monday. It was a slow start. They got it together. I had tweeted out yesterday, we went through an entire season in one game. We really, it felt like we sat through an entire season. A couple things that stuck out to me. Javon Holland's punch out. We are literally doing a different show today. If he doesn't, that was a textbook punch out of a football, and I'm guessing, Crowder, you're taught to do that.
He talked about it on the show we had with him last year. It's something he wanted to work on. He did it every practice because you have to create turnovers, and that was a game-winning turnover. A 13-point swing just like that? Come on, man. That was amazing. And then to be able to capitalize on the other side of it with two of the Tyreek, like that's what good teams do. McDaniel's post-game when he was like, this is the win I want us to have early so that you know what the fight is. That was beautiful. Extremely sloppy. Penalties everywhere. Jonnu Smith, who I was praising all offseason, dropped 2 early passes. They took him totally out of the game. Durham Smythe dropped some easy first downs. Like, it was very ugly. And then, like Tyreek said, they dusted the rust off in that second half and went to doing what we saw they were supposed to do. But it was an ugly game. And that no preseason play that we were talking about, I think had something to do with it.
Calais Campbell let Dolphins fans know early on that he's still got a lot left. I immediately thought of Solana when they first announced that they had signed Calais Campbell, and Solana immediately announced that he would be a third down only participant.
And Jalen Phillips tore his Achilles, huh?
Holy mackerel. I mean, now you're going to see, I think some defensive linemen start to put tearing your Achilles into their offseason program.
Did you see how hard he was? He looked like he was running on a different speed than the other team. Jalen Phillips about to ball out if he stays healthy. That man can play ball.
Devon Achane is legit, man. I love when the ball goes into his hands, man. He can fly. Jason Sanders, his first miss was one of the worst field goal attempts that I've ever seen. I don't know exactly what happened there. I do believe that we would be doing 4 hours today if Sanders had missed that game-winning kick. But I don't think it would have been about Jason Sanders. I think we would have done 4 hours today. And I haven't listened to any other shows, so I don't know if they've talked about this. I don't understand why Mike McDaniel was satisfied with a 50-plus yard field goal to win the game when they seemed to be moving the ball all right. And they had over a minute. They could have gotten much, in my opinion, closer. And I know you always run the risk of a turnover, a mistake happening, but he seemed – I was cursing. I thought it was a dumb decision to be satisfied with a 50-plus yarder after the attempt that Jason Sanders had made earlier. He made it, so he's a genius. But I think we'd have been doing 4 hours today on what the hell was Mike McDaniel thinking.
That early, I want to say second quarter, when Tua got sacked and it put him out of field goal range. And then in that drive, those last 2 drives were beautiful textbook drives. Just go down and get your touchdown, go down there getting field goal range. Like, it was beautiful. They had about 3 or 4 penalties in that drive. So to answer your question, I think he was kind of gun shy off running more plays. Because now the 50 turns into a 55, 57, whatever it is. But I think those 2 situations made it like, yeah, let's take it easy, get a couple yards, put it on the left hash. Jason Sanders from the right hash, he's Sanders Jason. I don't know who the hell that was. He kicked the ball. He kicked the ball to 107. But from that left hash, Jason Sanders was money.
Yeah, he's been really good. He was great last season. I just didn't understand the making him kick. Listen, I know 50-yarders are a dime a dozen nowadays in the NFL, but after the first attempt, I was like, man, I would love to see them get a little bit closer. But you're right, even beyond a turnover, just a false start, and you've changed the entire dynamic there at the end.
Did you see the Cowboys game? Same coach that put Ezekiel Elliott at center. Did you see them line that boy up for like a 68-yarder?
Oh, yeah.
71 yarder.
He was in the other end zone, lined up pre-snap.
God bless him.
I said, McCarthy, come on, man. Let's not do this to this young man.
We have a lot of stuff to get to today. Like I said, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to join us. We've got some giveaways. Marlins season is winding down, but we've got tickets for you to go to Beer Fest at Marlins Park when the Braves come to town on September 21st, or the Braces, if I'm reading the liner as it's written. Enjoy a sampling of domestic, international, local craft brews. Just keep listening for details. We'll give away a pair every single day on the show this week. You've got to be 21 or over to win. There's also an online contest we've got going on. Women's professional soccer is coming to South Florida. We've got tickets for you to see Fort Lauderdale United FC on the campus of NSU Florida, Nova Southeastern, September 29th. If you want to win those tickets, you go right over to WQAM.com and you can enter there. Let us begin, though, with headlines and Alejandro Solana. It's brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory, like the Sportage, Sorento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. And then we will talk with Ryan Fitzpatrick, former Dolphins and Bills quarterback, and Bucks quarterback, and Jets quarterback.
Been a lot of places.
You ever play for the Patriots? Is that the only team you didn't play for in the AFC East?
I don't, maybe for a preseason or something. He had to, if I had to guess, 12 teams.
How about the Patriots coming out with a dub over Cincy?
Oh,
I mean, that knocked everyone out of their survivor pools. Everyone.
Yeah.
Not me. I had Seattle.
That didn't knock down the scoreboard operator. 16-10. Goodness gracious.
Tough game to watch, man. There's a few teams. I want to talk, obviously, Dolphins today and Hurricanes. I got to talk about Bryce Young and Carolina. I got to talk about Deshaun Watson. We obviously have to talk about Tyreek Hill and what went down outside the stadium. Calais Campbell was involved. Jonnu Smith was involved. There's just a lot to get to, so we'll get through it all today. We'll begin with headlines, though, here with Solana.
I believe Odell Beckham Jr. involved as well.
Yes,
There's new
he was
video
there as well
from TMZ Sports that was tweeted about an hour ago. That was the big story. I'll start with the actual victory, though. So the Dolphins down 14-0. Hoch's right. This was a roller coaster of emotions because nothing seemed to be going the Dolphins' way offensively in the first half. Tua puts together a nice drive to at least get them some points before halftime. And then you have the punch out from Javon's golden hand. That leads to an 80-yard touchdown. I was going to say something else, but I'm glad I pivoted.
What else?
What possibly could have popped into your head that you had to back off of?
And then Sanders hits the walk-off 52-yard field goal. Tua ended 338 yards, and that 80-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill outplayed Trevor Lawrence once again.
He did. By the way, someone texting in, sounds like Hoch gambled on the Dolphins and lost by the hook because the line was 3.5. Sounds like I'm pissed at the field goal. No, I didn't mind the field goal. I wanted them to get closer, and I had bought it to 3. So it did not matter. We'll talk about our gambling exploits later on. But I told you, Tua over 2.5 yards rushing. I mean, the dude did not look to run at all. I was cursing that dude. But when there was that one opportunity right up the middle, I got inundated with texts and tweets, and and I'm doing it again on Thursday night. Tua rushing over. I am doing it again, even though I was wrong, even though he had 10 rushing yards or whatever. He is not looking to rush or scramble. Like he's just not looking to.
But he
But
got 11.
I won that. I had Dolphins -3, so I pushed.
He had it on one play right before the half, too. It was that long drive that they went and scored a touchdown. Devon Achane got in.
Went crazy.
Yeah. Dolphins really weren't able to run the football yesterday, gentlemen. No. That seemed to be an issue. Raheem Mostert on the first drive or second drive almost looked to be a little banged up, and he just looked off the entire game. Devon Achane was excellent catching passes, but running the football yesterday, not something the Dolphins were able to do.
No. They had a couple double-digit runs that got called back for holding over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Got a little handsy in the O-line.
In fact, I think wasn't there a Tua scramble that got called back too?
Yes.
I think there was.
It wasn't a 30 hitter, but it was 8-9 yards. Yeah.
Raheem Mostert did not look like he did last season.
Nope.
They'll figure it out. And to be honest, Jacksonville's not bad. Jacksonville they got some bangers over there. That damn 23
I kind of felt like
nerve.
I kind of felt like I learned something about Jacksonville.
Yes.
Am I crazy though? I mean, I would have loved to have seen the Dolphins come out because you guys were saying offense has to look precise, on point from the get-go, and it didn't. But I almost felt better winning a game like that than I would have had the Dolphins just blown out a team that we all believe is going to be a fringe playoff team, just from the standpoint of, bro, you got to win ugly sometimes. Like, you really do. Nothing went right for them, but they still found a way to pull out an uneasy victory.
I understand what you're saying. It was shocking to me, though, because the one thing that I know from Mike McDaniel is the first few drives, which are scripted, are creative, and they just kind of move downfield with no problem. They looked so disjointed that I was confused. Again, maybe it was going to come down to it at the end regardless, but I thought the first couple of series, just based on what we've seen before at the beginning of a game, certainly at the whole offseason, I was shocked by how disjointed it looked.
And I'll say, I don't say I agree with you, Solana, but the Eagles game last year, they were up in the fourth. The Kansas City game overseas, they had to score a touchdown to win it. I understand what you're saying. I don't know if Jacksonville is that team that we should be in that situation with late. So the Hawks, I guess I'm squirreling right now. We should be able to put 21 up on Jacksonville in the first half. For that offense to sputter like it did surprise me.
Still a decent team, though. Like, I mean, look at the Patriots. They're probably not going to be a decent team, but they went into Cincinnati and kicked the Bengals' ass. Like, that's going to happen in the NFL, man.
I mean, we learned Cincinnati stinks.
Oh, okay. We'll
Joe
talk
Burrow needs 5 Pro Bowl receivers. And if he doesn't have 5 Pro Bowl receivers, he doesn't know what to do.
We did this same dance last year. We did this same dance last year, and they win 7 straight in November, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the Bengals again.
I'm not on Hawk's side with this Cincinnati.
I'm never wrong with this stuff.
Let me put that out there.